Barry McBumbles wasn't your average guy. He was half human, half accident waiting to happen. Born under a ladder during a black cat convention, Barry's life was a constant comedy of errors. Spilling, tripping, and crashing were his specialties. But Barry had one saving grace, his unshakable optimism. Barry believed in fresh starts. Every morning he'd wake up with a smile, convinced today was the day he'd get it right. This was often followed by him tripping over his untied shoelaces and landing face first into his breakfast. Well, that wasn't supposed to happen, he'd mumble, scraping jam off his nose. But Barry never stayed down for long. He'd dust himself off, slap on a bandage or two, he went through boxes of them, and go about his day, ready for the next adventure, planned or otherwise. And with Barry, there was always a next adventure. To say Barry was clumsy was an understatement. He was a one-man disaster zone, leaving a trail of chaos in his wake. Once, while trying to bake a cake, he managed to cause a flower explosion that blanketed his entire apartment in white. "Well," he'd said, peering out from behind a mountain of flour, "at least it smells nice." Another time, attempting to help his neighbor mow the lawn, Barry somehow managed to steer the lawnmower into the neighbor's prize-winning rose bushes. The sight of a runaway lawnmower spewing rose petals and thorns like confetti was something the neighbors would never forget. "Oops, my bad," Barry had chirped, scratching his head sheepishly. His neighbor, speechless, just shook his head. It was Barry after all, what else could you expect? Despite his daily dose of disasters, Barry remained positive. He saw the silver lining in every cloud, even if it was hidden behind a hailstorm of bad luck. He treated life like a carnival game. You might lose more than you win, but the sheer thrill of the ride was what mattered. He truly believed that every day was a new opportunity to get it right. And who knows, maybe one day he would. In the meantime, he'd keep on smiling, keep on trying, and keep on apologizing for the unfortunate mishaps that seemed to follow him like a shadow. He was living proof that you could find joy even in the most chaotic of situations. He was Barry McBumbles after all, and that's just how he rolled. Barry possessed a unique talent for attracting trouble. It wasn't just clumsiness, it was like the universe conspired to throw wacky obstacles in his path. If there was a rake leaning against a wall, Barry would find a way to step on it, sending the handle crashing into his face. If there was a do not push button, you could bet your bottom dollar Barry would accidentally bump into it, setting off some unforeseen chain reaction. It was a gift, really, a gift for chaos. "Well," he'd say, rubbing his sore forehead, "that wasn't how I planned my day, but it certainly livened things up," and off he'd go, leaving a trail of bewildered onlookers in his wake. Section 5, The Case of the Exploding Toaster. One morning, Barry decided to make toast. Simple enough, right? Not for Barry. He managed to plug the toaster into the wrong outlet, causing a power surge that blew out the entire building's electricity. The toaster itself shot up into the air like a rocket, trailing sparks and smoke. Barry, covered in toast crumbs and soot, just stared at the smoking crater that was once his kitchen. "Well, that wasn't supposed to happen," he muttered, picking a singed raisin out of his hair. The entire building echoed with the sound of his neighbors groaning. It was going to be one of those days. But Barry's knack for disaster wasn't always a bad thing. Sometimes his misadventures led to surprisingly positive outcomes. One day, while rushing to work late as usual, Barry tripped on a loose cobblestone and accidentally foiled a bank robbery. He'd tumbled right into the path of the fleeing robbers, sending them sprawling onto the pavement. The police arrived to find Barry sitting on a pile of confused criminals, his briefcase flung open, scattering important documents everywhere. "Well," Barry said, dusting himself off, "I guess that's one way to make an entrance." He became a local hero, proving that even the unluckiest of guys could have their moments of accidental glory. Life with Barry was never boring. Every day was an adventure, a roller coaster ride through the unpredictable. His friends and family never knew what to expect. Would he show up with his hair on fire? Would he accidentally order pizza to the wrong country? The possibilities were endless. But one thing was for sure, they loved him dearly. Barry's infectious optimism and ability to find humor in any situation were truly special. He taught them to embrace life's little mishaps, to laugh at their own clumsiness, and to never give up on trying, no matter how many times they fell flat on their faces. Barry McBumbles, the accidental hero, the walking disaster zone, the champion of chaos, he was one of a kind. Barry had mastered the art of bouncing back. No matter how many times life knocked him down, he always got back up, dusted himself off, and faced the day with a smile. He treated every mishap as a learning experience, a chance to refine his unique brand of chaos. He knew he wasn't perfect. In fact, he was perfectly imperfect. And that was okay. He embraced his clumsiness, his uncanny ability to attract trouble, and his talent for turning ordinary situations into extraordinary misadventures. Barry McBumbles, the unluckiest guy ever, was living proof that even in the face of constant calamity, you could choose to laugh, to learn, and to live life to the fullest, one hilarious mishap at a time. Barry McBumbles wasn't just a name, it was a way of life. He represented the triumph of the human spirit over adversity, the ability to find joy in the unexpected, and the importance of always getting back up, no matter how many times life knocked you down. He taught everyone he met that it was okay to laugh at your mistakes, to embrace your imperfections, and to never let a little or a lot of bad luck get you down. Barry McBumbles, the unluckiest guy ever, was, in his own chaotic and hilarious way, a true inspiration.